Did Subriel Matías get the win? Did he deserve the win? Did Alberto Puello, deserve the nod? And we're gonna break that down here in this video. And I've given myself the whole weekend to kind of just digest this fight, look it over, and mull it over. I did score it for Puello that night by a round maybe. But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna look at video, CompuBox, and most importantly, the future and what happened with Turkey and Subriel in the ring, because that was weird. So we're gonna talk about that. But first, if you're new here, thank you for stopping in and choosing this video. I really appreciate it. And if you're older subscriber, thank you for the continued support. The support has been great and very overwhelming for the last almost 2 weeks in a row now. I feel like there's a momentum changing for the channel. So I really appreciate all of the fan support, all of the comments, everything that you guys are doing. So we're gonna keep on trucking here. So we're gonna analyze this. So first, we're gonna go to the videos. Let's go. So this is the fight here. This is the highlights. So let's go back, and you see the CompuBox in the background, but we're gonna get to that CompuBox in a minute. So let's put back my background up there real quick. Again, Subriel was going straight forward the whole night, straight forward. Puello was doing good work, right? Getting the left hand inside through the guard. A lot of those, say like that one got through, but a lot of them were being blocked by Subriel. Subriel was, having his hands up. The thing that I didn't like that Subriel was not doing the whole fight, he had no head movement, right? He was not slipping any punches, right? Where Puello was, but he also was applying a ton of pressure. And I also made the distinction, the comparison rather, that night while I was streaming was with the Hagler and Leonard fight, right? A lot of people thought that Hagler won because of the body attack, right? The body attack was not being credited for Hagler that night. And also, with Leonard having a strategy of his corner, alerting him to the last 30 seconds of the round and him kind of shoe shining his way into a decision. That's what. Now, I made that comparison because Subriel here was doing a crazy body attack. That's all he was really concentrating on for the most part. And I know the strategy because he wanted to kind of have Puello stay still eventually. Puello's credit, he was in dynamic shape, and that really didn't happen too much, except for like a couple of rounds in the middle towards the end. You could see he was wearing, but then he got a second win. But I digress. Let's continue. Aquí estamos, mira. Le tira, he throws. Another thing here, so I want to mention the holding. Now, this xenomorph egg-shaped head referee here, he warned him about 5 times. And here's my thing. If you're going to warn a fighter any amount of times over 3 times over the same infraction, you got to be prepared to do something about it. The fact that you're not going to do anything about it after the 5th time, while you're wasting your breath, all you're doing is getting the crowd at home and in the stadium or in the arena frustrated that you're noticing a problem, but you're not willing to do anything about it other than tell them not to do it. If they continue to do it, that means they have no respect for you as a referee. So why waste your time, right? If you're not going to do anything about it, then don't do anything about it. Don't say anything about it. If you're going to say something about it, be prepared to make that call, because then we're going to hold you responsible. I don't think everybody's really, I haven't noticed too many pundits pointing that out, but it should be noted that this referee was warning Puello about holding excessively, and he did nothing about it, right? Could that have shifted the fight? No, because Matías still won the fight. It would just been a wider margin. But still, in a fight that it would have been crucial. Look, Subriel just runs at him, right? Good left hook. Back to the body, right? Push off by Puello. And then look, he just not cutting the ring off, just following him. That was my problem with what Subriel was doing the whole night. Let me make myself a little smaller here so that way we can enjoy a little more space, real estate here. Again, boom, to the body, uppercut. Puello returns to the body. Puello hooks his arm around, holds him again. He has to be broken up. Hitting low, combination by Puello. Now, that's why Subriel's face got cut and was suffering a lot, because Subriel was not slipping punches. He has to make a change in his corner. It's only going to get harder from here when you try to unify these belts against other champions that are well schooled. You have to have head movement, right? And you have to know how to cut that ring off, right? You have to. And if your current team is not getting you to that state, we need to make a change. I mean, we don't got that kind of time here. You know what I'm saying? No tenemos esa clase de tiempo para estar jodiendo con no moviendo la cabeza. Ring en mitad. Come on, bro. We're not cutting that ring off. We're not moving that head. We're going to get caught out there. These are next fighters on the next level up. They're on that level. So you see here, Puello downstairs, and he immediately holds. That's the paro, the Liam Paro strategy. Subriel keeping his hands busy. That was a key thing too. You're backing the guy up and you're keeping your hands busy. The judges like that. Hands constantly moving. Even if they weren't hitting anything. Just constantly moving. Hitting the air, but constantly moving. He's in perpetual motion. Look, perpetual motion. Back, back. Let's keep fast forward. I don't want to catch a case here. I mean, the fight was close, dog. It was not like a one-sided beatdown by no means. And like I said, I had it by 1 round to Puello. That's how I saw it at the time. You know what I'm saying? And Subriel didn't look confident either. He knew it was a close fight. Puello really didn't make an argument for it either. Not that I've heard of. I haven't heard Puello say, hey, I got robbed, I got this, I got that. I haven't heard that. So for me, not hearing that, then we have to kind of say, okay, well, maybe there's some merit to the decision, right? All right, so we saw that. So now let's take a look at the CompuBox numbers. Now, here's where it gets interesting, and I wrote it down real quick here. But I wanted to find out, really, what the major things here. Now, Subriel outlanded totality Puello 7 rounds, 6 rounds. So, like, they split, basically. It was 6 and 6. But 1 round, they scored even. The same amount of punches landed, so that became a 1-1, right? So, Subriel, by a hair, outlanded Puello, right? So, for instance, you got here round 1, Puello being on top, right? So let's go with those. 24-15. Round 2, 25-22. Round 3, 25-25. Right there. You see what I'm saying? Round 4, 16-18. Keep in mind that bottom number is Matías. Up here, 13-20, 27-29, 23-29, 22-30, 26-11, 22, 27-19, 19-15. Even in the rounds that Matías outlanded him, it was by 2 or 3 punches, right? Now we go total punches, thrown and landed, period, at the bottom, right here. Final punch stat report. You got Puello up top, right? 735, landed 267. Now here you got Matías, 766, 255. Perpetual motions, right? 30-some odd punches more thrown, but less accuracy, right? But here's the power punches, right? Body to the body. Puello thrown 470, landed 205. Matías threw 564, landed 210. He threw way more, landed only 5 more. See what I'm saying? But it's the perception, it's the work rate, the pressure, the ring generalship. That's what the judges were looking at. The judges were looking at, well, this guy's pushing him back, walking him back, being a whole lot more active, and has a crazy body attack. They're not counting, they're just seeing the activity, right? And in jabs, it was a no-brainer. 265 thrown by Puello, 202 by Matías, 62 landed by Puello, and 45 landed by Matías. So that was gonna be a no-brainer at the end of the day, right? So now that we have that, can we safely say that? Oh wow, I want to wait there for a second. Hold on a second. Let me just go here real quick. I'm gonna just take this off in the back. So did Subriel and Matías win this matchup? Based on what we know now, right? Did he win? I'm saying if you got him winning, I ain't mad at you. If you got him winning, I ain't mad at you, because the fight was that close. If Puello would have got it, I wouldn't have been mad. I wasn't mad when Subriel got it. I was kind of a little bit surprised, I'm not gonna lie to you. But then as I thought about it, I'm like, what were those refs looking at? I mean, the judges looking at? And when I realized, oh, they're looking at the body attack, the pressure, the perpetual motion. Every time Puello held, that's a sign of weakness in the mind of some judges, and they don't like that. Obviously, these judges didn't like it either, right? They were of that kind. They didn't like it. So this right here,
we have Dalton Smith.
This right here was one of the weirdest things I've ever seen in professional boxing. I've never seen a guy. Let's just listen real quick, because this was weird, and I'm gonna tell you what I think this should happen.
And then we have Dalton Smith right behind us. He is the mandatory for your WBC title. I just spoke to Turki Al-Sheikh, and he said he's looking to make that fight November 22nd.
Here's the thing. I believe Turki Al-Sheikh didn't give a damn who won this fight. The Matías is the better name, so he got lucky on that one. It was all about Dalton Smith. He thinks, in his mind, Dalton Smith is the more marketable guy. Let's set him up. Because in Europe, because the euro being a lot more healthier and wealthier than the US dollar for dollar, pound for pound, you can make more money with Dalton being the champ and selling out arenas in the O2 than Matías in the United States. So it's a power business move. This whole time, this fight was for Dalton Smith to be elevated into a next main eventer. That was the whole point. But here's the thing. Here's what made me go, what?
In Riyadh, Night of the Champions. How does that sound to you?
He said I got in front of me my next victim. Right now, my next victim. But here's the thing that Subriel says, that then when Turki steps in, made it weird.
No, friend. You will fight him in November card.
No, friend. You will fight him in November card. Almost as if he's a mafia dude. Like, no. You are like almost like if he owns Subriel. Like it's like no. I'm telling you what you're doing right now. I'm telling you. I'm letting you know what you got to do. I'm gonna tell you why that is in a second. Or at least what I think it is.
The world title.
You want excited fighter? I'm here.
That part we all know. Subriel is an exciting fighter. He's a no-nonsense fighter. He's a come-forward fighter.
Like that,
that's what it makes sense that he tells that to Turki because that's what Turki wants. Here's the thing. This is why I think it shouldn't happen November 22nd. That's 4 months from now. Subriel has a nice gash over his eyebrow. That eyebrow is going to take at least 2 to 3 months to heal properly, outside and in, even with the world's best plastic surgeons at work. He could do road work, but when is he going to get sparring in? You see what I'm saying? It's a quick turnaround for a rough fight that he had. Turki knows it. Turki knew it. He was like, whoever wins this fight is going to be really worn or tired for Dalton Smith, who will be at least 5 to almost 6 months off by the time November rolls around. And I know it's a big payday from Subriel, but I don't know what he's going to prioritize over. But here's my thing, my friend. He's your mandatory, but the mandatories don't really mean much unless the WBC orders it. So what you need to do is say, well, I'll fight him November 22nd, but here's what I want. You gotta stand steadfast, because I'm telling you that cut is gonna be a problem. He's gonna be tired. That might not be his best training camp based on a quick turnaround, not being able to do certain things. I think his stamina will be fine, but that cut will forever be something you have to take a look at. And the fact that Subriel doesn't move his head as much, doesn't cut the ring, that cut becomes a liability. I personally wouldn't do it. I think it's a setup. It was either a setup for Puello, just as much as it's going to be for Subriel Matías. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't do it. But the fact that he kind of like Godfather, mafia status, no, my friend. You know, and Subriel wants to please so badly that he's like, no, I'm here. I won't agree to it. And I hope he takes him to the bank at the very least. Subriel, por lo menos 4, 5, 6 millones. $4, $5, $6 million. You got to get that. You're the champ. Riyadh season. He wants a stat card. He has to pay for it. Because that's a bad turnaround. And if you happen to lose that on a cut, si lo pierde por un tajo, por lo menos tiene todo ese dinero en el banco. At least you got all that money in the bank if you will be stopped on a cut. Because you don't want to risk your championship for $1 million, $2 million or $2. Eso no vale nada. That doesn't mean anything. But that was my take. So I'm not mad in retrospect that Matías got it. But I have to be honest with my audience, you guys. I wasn't entirely sure, and I even had him losing by 1 point. But I understand why the judges gave it to him. I understand why it shouldn't be a big deal that he won the fight, especially with one judge having it a draw. I'm not mad. It's a fair decision now that I look at it. But in the moment, I could understand why some people, because even I felt like maybe the wrong got the decision. But in retrospect, sometimes retrospect, they don't have that luxury. They don't have that luxury. But maybe what we can do as boxing fans go, okay, what did they see that I didn't see at home while watching it the second time? Because obviously they saw it different. So let me see if I can catch maybe what they saw. Because maybe I was too emotionally invested, right, in the fight to see what they saw. And that's what I did. And I can see why he won. I can see it. I'm not mad at it. And Puello can come back. But leave a comment down below. What do you think? Do you think that he deserved to win? Did he get the fight? Did Puello get robbed? Should Matías fight in November? Because Turkey says so. Let me know down below, and I'll see you in the next video, and I'm out. Peace.